Welcome to I Love Sketchup, issue 95. Happy St. Patrick's Day. That's apple juice. I'm just going to go around saying that that's apple juice this whole time. Because that's what it is. What else could it be, right? Alright, so are you all ready for some fun drawing adventure today? I hope everyone is doing okay with the crazy... Alright, I can't even say it because I know that I'll get flagged on YouTube, so... What's going around? People catching a cold here and there. Hey Robert. Hey Therazin. Hello everybody. So I already started my little rough sketch for today. I won't be taking requests today. I always take requests, but this is like one of those times where I wasn't sure if I was going to do this live streaming adventure because it's 5 in the month. So whenever there's 5 in the month, like 5 Tuesdays, I try to take one Tuesday off. So I'm like, oh, a break this week. But it's St. Patrick's Day. Like, I can't say no to that. It's in my blood. I'm almost as Irish as they get, apart from being born in not being born in Ireland. But my grandfather was born and raised in Ireland, and then he moved over here with my grandmother, who was born and raised in Scotland. That's right. Those two. Oh, Robert, good to hear you're okay. Or are you saying that you're okay for my non-request day? We're going to draw ourselves a monster girl made of beer. A frothy monster girl.
You mean apple juice?
Apple juice. a frosty apple juice girl. We're going to make her up. We're going to make her up. But you can always help me make up parts for this person. I'm always down for that. Like, should I give her pigtails? Or should I just give her, like, a big poof of hair? Zoo! How's it going? Alright, let's see. This is my, like, my rough sketch. And now I'm going to kind of sketch on top of this. Actually, let's put that on the rough one. There we go. Something like this. That seems like about right to me. Now, let's go back up here. Save! What a day, what a day. Pigtails, please. You got it. So what we're going to try and do is I'm going to actually use all these different colors that you see over here to try and create the composition and color of this character. So here's what we're going to do. Let's try and get my line art done real quickly because I would like to put a little bit of color on this one for sure. Oh no, I feel like I gotta be real careful about how I'm going to do this because I don't want it to resemble too much like my one from a couple weeks ago. The girl from Fate's Day Night that I cupcaked. I made her like a cupcake monster girl. And she had a pose that kind of felt like this one, so I gotta be careful. Can't make it too similar. Let's cut that in a little more. Long pigtails, please. Alright. Long, frothy pigtails. Come on. There we go. So I hope y'all are wearing some green. I got mine right here. I'm also surrounded myself with green stuff today. I've got like a little miniature green slipstream. That's like a small transformer made by a company called Iron Factory. I believe her name was Shriek's Feather because they can't legally call her Slipstream. I've got Rogue, I have Rogue next to me today. And then I have the green girl herself, Chile. And then behind me, I put a couple of green plushies. I got my little piranha plants, a Cthulhu, and a Gelderwall. And I have Kirby, and it's really just a shame that A, they didn't make like a plasma Kirby, so I couldn't have a green one, and B, that I don't have this cute little St. Patty's Day hat to put on his head. I would do anything for a cute St. Patty's Day hat to put on this Kirby's head. I feel like I should have gone to like the dollar store and picked up, you know, like there's like that bling you can get. Excuse me, a lot of times it has like little Irishy hats on it, and I could have taken one of those Irishy hats, put a magnet under it, bam, Kirby, Irish Kirby. It would have been so sweet. I hope she has green eyes. She will have green eyes. That's why I'm trying to make it look like it's a little four-leaf clover here for her little eyes. Four-leaf clover. Doo-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Do I even have green clothes anymore? Yeah, I had to look through my stuff. I usually wear like this Boba Fett sweater that all my friends every year see me wearing. They're like, I don't think so, Eric. And I'm like, literally have armored pieces that are like a brownish, greenish brown. And they don't think it's good enough. But it for sure is good enough. They just don't believe it. There's one year where I was wearing like a Flogging Molly shirt. That's like an Irish band. And that didn't pass. It wasn't a green shirt. But I was like, but it's an Irish shirt. And they're like, no, Eric, you need the green. Let's give her like a little mouth. I think that's cute like that. I'm not going to have her mouth as wide open as the last girl that we drew from Fate. I really got to be careful with that. Maybe I'll give her a couple of these too. I think that's cute. But I'm not going to do it with this. I think I'm going to... Oh, yeah, I will. I'll leave it in there. So, do any of you have any sweet, fun plans for today? Currently, my country's on lockdown, so I can't go anywhere and I can't do anything. All events, everything's been canceled. My job, like, I have a day job that I do where I work at a video game store, and you know, like, that's still open for now. I'm really hoping it doesn't close down because I need my monies. My day job helps pay for my comic book that I work so hard on. Do I have it next to me? I'm always showing it off. Hey, here we go. This one, I write, publish, and illustrate my own comic called Blythe. I'm not going to waste the rest of this drawing session showing this off. I just wanted to show it now, and then I'll show it again at the end, like I always do. Alright. That looks like a cute face. Even if I could go out, the weather is terrible. Oh, tell me about it. It's snowing right now where I'm at. Cheers! Apple juice for all. Okay. Let me grab my ellipse tool. I'm going to use this to make this area here. There we go. Doesn't need to be too line doesn't need to be too thick just yet. It turned to rain here, but not before making everything icy first. Ooh, that is gross. trouble drawing this one line here. Let me just get up close and personal. Yeah. I'm gonna draw that line. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna make this part bevel out a little bit, I think. Like I think I did that on my sketch. I'm gonna do it here anyway. There we go. Now let's bring that in a little here. I'm actually gonna bring this in here a little too. This, and we're gonna make that go in. Long pigtails, please. For sure, man. I hear ya. I'll do that. Pigtails are my favorite. Classic early Canadian spring weather. Oh, tell me about it. Right when you're like, oh yeah, no more snow. I mean, it's beautiful outside. Like the next week, it's snowing. Alright, there we go. Now let's see here. Let's just make this a little wider. And this is gonna appear here. I will handle that, but not just yet. Let's see. I don't want it like that. It needs to be more on an angle. Like I kind of like how I drew it. Maybe not as pronounced. Like I'll bring it in a little here, and then I'll just do like little lines like this. I don't know how visible a lot of this is going to be once I start really getting in with the details. Yeah, definitely want that on the glass. I have it on my glass I'm drinking now. I actually use my glass I'm drinking out of now as reference for this glass. And then I'm just going to like modify a few things here and there. There we are. So other than that, has anybody gotten sick yet? I feel like I've been sick since forever. I was super sick the whole month of November, the whole month of December, January, and then afterwards, like, January, I was kind of like a little sick, and then I finally was like, yay, I'm not sick anymore, and now there's this sick, like, cold going around, and, man, I just feel like I must have already gotten it by now. And if not, well, I'm prepared for it mentally, let's put it that way. I've been so sick this year, always, like, over and over again, that I'm like, okay, here we go, let's do this. Alright, I'm actually going to make some of this line a little thicker. Alright. Nope, but I was before all of this. Yeah, me too. Alright. I think we're pretty good here. Let me just draw this coaster. It's going to be more like a napkin, I think. let's just go. Let's leave that like that. It's about time we get back to our girl here. There we go. Just gonna save. Let's click on this. And that. All right. All right, how are we gonna do this? Let's see here. She's definitely gonna be a slime girl. No, we're all healthy here. Oh, that's awesome. Good to hear. Keep it up. Keep up that sweet healthiness. I have to move this around a little. Oops. That's not the right tool. There we go. I'm just gonna start off by drawing the basic outlines for her, and then afterwards I'll start adding all that alcoholic, apple juicy adventure. I mean, I did say that my live streams were PG-13. And for the most part, I'd say they are. There's nothing wrong with little sex. It's not like there's tons of nudity or anything like that on here. Or swearing or violence. But a little sex appeal's okay. And I made her really curvy, but I feel like somebody that's made from beer would be curvy. Fits the bill. There we go, that's better. Is that the same layer as her eyes? It isn't! Yay! So I can work with that. It's so ridiculous that you have to pretend alcoholic beverages don't exist to make a media PG-13. Well, yeah. Though it might still get flagged. I mean, common sense would dictate that. I originally wanted to draw her instead of like in a pint glass. I wanted to put her in a barrel. And you know, like those old-timey like drawings where people would drink in like old school Disney things and stuff like that. They would put triple X's on the barrel. I was gonna do that, and then I'm like, I think that's gonna come across more pornographic than alcoholic. So I decided against it. I sent you a link to the first page of the manga I'm making with another artist. If you're gonna draw an OC today, you can draw any of the 2 characters on it. It would have been very funny. Oh yeah, it would have been super funny had I done that. Oh, sorry, Therazan. No OCs today. I actually wasn't gonna do a live stream today. I was gonna take this week off because, I mean, I'm always doing live streams every single Tuesday, and there's 5 Tuesdays this month. So I was like, oh yeah, this is a good opportunity to take one Tuesday off for once. But then, you know, like I was saying like I had said this at the beginning of the stream, but it's St. Patty's Day. How can I not draw today? That'd be crazy. Alright, let's hide my sketch away and see what I got. Okay, I don't like this actually. What I'm going to do is round this off a little. That was making her look too human. I'm not down with too human. Like, I'm not going to draw all the stuff to make her look like super real here. I'm going to start adding tons of things to make her look like she's a slime girl. Alright, let's fuse this together and keep going. Please say so in advance when you take a break, though. Oh, I did last week. And actually on my little, you know, every time you can see like a thing that's like my calendar for the month, all the Tuesdays, today was not marked down. Or was it marked down? I don't think so. I don't think so. But I can't check right now, so... When this live stream is over, it's usually like what I use as my background, so you can all see it. Alright, how do we start alcohol? Like, let's start sliming this girl up here. Alright, we're going to start off by giving her pigtails. Well, let's start off with her hair. So, I'm gonna give her like really rounded off hair in the front. My wife is now watching me. It's making me very self-conscious. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of foam.
Like I'm a monster.
No, you just stress me out when you're there and you're like... And yet all these people watching me draw right now are probably like this, but I can't tell. I can't see them. It helps when you can't see. Like if I had a video that showed all of you watching me, I'd be like a lot more nervous. Okay, I know I made all of her hair really round, but instead I'm actually going to make it all foam. I think that's way better. Excuse me. I don't know. My brush that just breaks on me every now and then. There we go. Longer pigtails, you say? Oh, hi! I was under the impression that we would start at the usual time. No matter, all in the past. Wait, usual time? I'd started at the usual time. Second time things got mixed up. At least I got some groceries and a new old game for it. Maybe because of the time change? I thought that was like a while ago, but I don't know. There we go. Let's do something like this. Oh, oh yeah, no, that's gonna stay like that. So you got your groceries done. Did you pick up toilet paper? Because people eat toilet paper now. That's like the new thing.
It's a delicacy.
It's high class having toilet paper these days. What time is it in your time zone, Eric? I'm Eastern time zone, so it's currently 12:30 where I'm at. Well, 12:33, 12:30. Yeah, I was gonna say 12:30. It's 4:30 in England. Yeah. So yeah, I'm Eastern time zone. So when I say like 12 to 1 Eastern time zone, you just gotta look up what that is for you. Because unfortunately, I have no clue. Oh, actually, I'm gonna have. Let's have this pigtail straight up hit the ground. I think that'll look
6
cool.
hours later. I think, no, 4 hours. Said 4 something. Sorry.
There we go. Maybe the clocks did shift by an hour earlier. It it shifted. I don't know if it was last week or the week before that, but it shifted recently. It was a week ago, my wife's telling me. Okay, let's add some drops on her. I don't like this line right here. Let's just clean that up. There we are. Anyway, I'm currently playing Professor Layton versus Ace Attorney. Whoa, that sounds like fun. Yeah, but wasn't that 2 weeks ago? I think it was. That does look cool. Thank you. Let me just... There we go. That's looking funky. Actually, I want to put a bit more emphasis over this side. Alright, now what I do is I keep that one at max, but my back one, I'm going to bring it down in opacity so I know what to erase. So I'm going to start by erasing some of this. Let's erase a bunch of this mug here. There we go. I can erase a little bit of this mug, and I'm just going to... Let's do something like that. This one a little. This one here. Now I'm going to erase a bit of her actual lines for her arm, so it makes her feel more gooey. Excuse me. Let's leave that like that. That's gonna stay there. That as well. Alright. Oh, let's erase this. This a little bit. Alright, I think we got like the basic things erased now. Meanwhile, I see an article that in Japan, people drink beer in video chats since they can't go out anymore. Yeah, that sounds about right. Unlike me, I'm just drinking sweet, sweet apple juice. Death Stranding has delivered people using box-shaped backpacks to deliver across an apocalypse to people who can't leave their homes. Alright, let's pump up my line art again. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an eraser, lower the opacity to that eraser. I'm going to get rid of some of her features here with this. There we are. That's cute. Alright, looks good. Let's fuse all those layers together. Oh no, my eraser's no good. I forgot that I lowered the opacity. And I just did it too. That happens to me often. So Hideo Kojima is getting close to Simpsons level prediction accuracy. Yeah, but with like one game. I think you're grasping at straws on this one, Zeno. Simpsons level accuracy has been going on for years. Plus, I don't know. I just think that Simpsons is really like, they make a lot of jokes about a lot of things, and they've been doing it for over 30 years, so after a while. Let's erase some of that. Maybe just a little bit here. Then there was Article 13 in Europe compared to the censorship in Metal Gear. I think censorship is super dumb. I know PlayStation does it like crazy. They're always censoring everything. But I think that it's pointless. I love how Nintendo doesn't do that anymore. That they just abandoned the whole censorship thing. They just don't care. They're like, look, it says it's 18 and up, so watch your damn kids. I agree with that 100%. Well, more of the Metal Gear storyline dealing with higher ups censoring news. Oh, okay. A little bit like this. I'm just going to add a couple of thicker lines here and there, and then I'm going to start adding some color to this. Speaking of which, Minecraft group found a loophole dealing with news censored by other countries. Make a library server which has the articles. That's interesting. The further into the future we go, the harder it will be for people to censor things. Alrighty. I think we pretty much got this girl's basics done. Oh, no, actually I want to add a thicker outline in general. Alright. Let's save this. I gotta say, this drawing's actually taken quite a long time to do. Much longer than I anticipated. I don't know if I want to spend a full hour illustrating this thing. I do have a lot of work I have to do. Let's go a little lighter. Start off with just filling in the basics here. Ooh, whatever. Okay, we got that base in there. I want to just add things for the glass real quick, because the glass will take precedence over the girl. Now let's see. We're gonna go with a greenish kind of yellow, because I'm gonna turn it into gold. Oh, you know what? She's got so much. No, gold is nice. Gold works. All right, let's do gold. I was gonna make it silver, and then I thought, you know what? Forget that. I think gold is gonna look good. So do any of you have any plans for today? I mean, it is St. Patty's Day. I gotta say this apple juice is really hitting me. Like, I had like a piece of toast for breakfast, and I'm starting to really feel it, and there's not really that much there, so I guess I'm just not used to drinking apple juice. When I was younger, I used to pound apple juice down like it was my frickin' job. And now it's like, I have such a hard time. Oh, actually, this is all gonna be gold here. I wanted to add like a gold rim. You know, like some of those like fancy Stein drinking glasses have like that little gold trim around it. They're like, yeah, we're fancy. We put a gold trim around it. What? Shut up. Because they're so darn fancy. Play the new game and submit a room model for an online project. I just picked up Kirby All-Stars for the Switch, and I want to play it so badly, but because I'm working really hard on my comic book, and I'm like really like right on the level with my comic, like I wanted to finish it by the end of this month. Like my current issue, my whole series will not be finished for another 9.5 years. But this issue is going to be done by the end of this month for drawing, not the text. But I wanted to finish all the drawing in time for that, and I'm like really like 1 for 1 on my time. So every time I'm like, oh yeah, I want to try out my new Kirby game. I mean, it's not new. The game's been out for a little while, but I never bought it because I didn't want to pay full price. I wanted to find like, I wanted to get lucky and find it used, and I did. Which is sweet. Like, who trades in Kirby? Especially this Kirby game, where like at the beginning, right when it came out, it didn't really have a lot to offer, but now it offers tons with a whole bunch of sweet free updates where you can play as the villains in the game, the story mode. That is so cool. Like, I'm a really big Kirby fan, so I've kind of come to the conclusion today that's probably my favorite Nintendo franchise. It used to be Pokemon, but this new Pokemon game is just so atrocious with the way that they nickel and dime you that I've just been less into it. Like, it's okay. Like, I have a bunch of friends that play it. It's just that I myself don't want to play it because I feel so, like, betrayed by the company. I know it's stupid. I just do. Okay, and then we're going to go with this so I can fill up something like that. That looks cool. Now I'm going to... Oh, no! Hold on. Let's put that back here under glass. I need a... When I'm coloring, it's very important to keep an eye on my my layers. There we go. Back to the girl in question. Let's give her her green eye. Eric, I don't mean to sound pushy or anything, but since I already sent you the link to the first page of my manga, can you look at it and tell me what you think of the art? Therizin, Kirby, everyone is here. Yeah, everyone is there. It's awesome. Well, Therizin, that's pretty intense, man. I feel like you should just, like, if you've got Facebook, you can always message me on Facebook, and I'll, like, spend some time to go over it this way, and then I'll just, like, write you back in, like, a note form. Just because if I ended up doing it all now, it's taking up from the hour I have, like, doing this sketch with everybody. But, like, I have it. I just double checked to make sure I had it, and I'll look over it for you. Just, I'll message you on DeviantArt, so I'll let you know what I think and all that. Oh my gosh, I'm super colorblind, so I have issues with greens and reds, so working with green and orange is really difficult for me. Usually I have like a big color wheel of colors that I know to use with like indications saying this is this and this is this, so I don't make like stupid mistakes. But drawing this character like this is not going to be easy. Oh, let's change brushes. I don't like that brush at all. I'm going to erase this. I don't need that there. Let's put like a hint of yellow in her eye, maybe. Maybe that's what I need. There we go, that's cute, right? Yeah, Eric, yeah. Alright, so it's officially been an hour. Oh boy. Let's grab this from my glass. Actually, no, I'm gonna finish. Let's finish drawing this little slime girl first. I'm gonna add a layer here, and this, what I'm gonna do. That's too dark, I find. Oh, that's perfect right there. So the trick about drawing slimes is you draw a lighter color, then you go over her with a darker color, but only within the inside. Like you got to keep your outside still lighter. Then after that, you'll see. Like I'll show you how I do it. Or, well, it's like I think that most people that draw a slime character will do it like this, but who knows? Maybe not. So you do that, and then afterwards you grab a really light color. I'll go with like a yellowy, and you add like your highlights with that on top. So let's say we. Oh, that's on my eraser by mistake. Here we go. So I'll do like this and this. Let's add this behind her eye so her eye shines. Actually, I kind of like her eye the way it is. But anyway, I'm going to make this a little bit brighter. Let's add her lips here. And then we're going to add a little things like this because it adds like that shine, you know? So like this. Keep in mind that you have to be really careful with them. You can resummon them as many times as you like, but it's a wand that takes a completed level to regenerate. I didn't know that. Back to the beauty. For the Phoenix Wright portions, the first case is a classic one, while the ones after work around magic and 4 witnesses at a time. I've never played a single Phoenix Wright game before. Okay, and then see I'm going to add like a little bit of lightness like that, but it still stays kind of dark in her core. That really gives you that like she's gelatinous kind of form. I'm going to actually add a couple more like bubbles and stuff afterwards, so it gives off like that more alcohol, that more apple juicy feel. Also, I'm doing this all on a separate layer, so I can go over it and erase certain parts of it too, to create the shapes that I need. I'm going to make this whole brush softer as I go over her stomach here. Okay, so her body's looking pretty good. Gonna add a little bit of light in here like that. However, let's use my white here. Well, that's not a good brush. It's too soft. I like using like a brush that feels like a marker because I love markers. So whenever I do stuff like this, I'm always trying to there we go. Alright, let's work this a little bit here too. So Zoo, I know you want me to look at your artwork for your manga, and um, like, what do you want me to tell you about it? Like, art's like before I look at it, like art's pretty subjective, man. Like, I feel like I don't know. Like, it's hard. Like, if I'm not gonna like, it's either subjective or I end up giving like a constructive criticism, but I don't want to like I don't want to do something where like because the thing is I'm kind of like a robot the way I think with a lot of stuff, and that's kind of how I learn too. You know, like when people look at my stuff, like the first thing you have to keep in mind is when somebody critiques your artwork, or if you ask somebody to critique your artwork, don't hold your artwork close to your heart. So important. Like I can't possibly stress that one enough. So like I'll give you a constructive criticism on it, maybe give you some pointers on what I think might work or might like or what you're doing that might you might be able to improve on something here or there. But it's not coming from like a bad place. You need to know that. Like I never will ever in my entire life cuz I've had bad critiques before in my life where it's like not constructive. And so I'm a very solid individual when it comes to being constructive with your criticisms. I'm so constructive with mine when I give them to people. So like if you're asking me for my opinion, I'm going to give it to you and it's going to be very constructive. So I have to tell you that right now. Like it's very important. And I don't want you to take offense to it. I'm just saying that because it's so easy. Like I've given like people have asked me for criticisms before and I will give them to them and they'll just get angry with me or frustrated. And I really like I said I don't do it I'm not like looking for trouble, you know? And it's not coming from a bad place. So, it's just to let you know that like I'll look at your stuff and I'll give you like a constructive criticism on it, but anyway, I just don't want you to end up being all sad because of the way I'm saying certain things or because maybe I'll hit a nerve. That's another thing too. Like I don't mean to. It's just that let's say you have trouble drawing hands, and I'll be like, well, your hands might need a little bit of work. Like they don't seem so polished, so you might want to go over and redo that. And some people might get really angry and they'll be like, what? Ah, no. Why would you say that to me? And it's just like, well, like that's something you need to work on. Like hands are tough. It takes forever to draw hands properly. Like just tons of practice. And not, I say it takes forever. There's some people that literally can just do it. I mean, they're really good with their hand-eye coordination and they're really good with I'm just going to grab some of this foam over here. Anyway, they're really good with their hand-eye coordination and they're also really, really great at drawing from observation because of this. So like I don't know, like people like that just naturally pull their stuff together when it comes to drawing. And I'm not like that. Like I had to spend years practicing and owning my skills. Like most of my drawing, it comes from skill, not talent. Like if you're really talented, you're just naturally good at drawing something. Like I said, you're born with the ability to like see things a certain way. Like my wife is amazing at painting and amazing at drawing. Like she could just look at a tree and be like, I'm gonna draw that tree now, and then she'll draw it and it'll look so much like that tree. And I'll look at that same tree and be like, I want to draw that tree too, and it'll be like 10 tries of me drawing that tree before my tree looks even close to her tree. And I could practice all day every day and it's still gonna be like that because she's just born innately with the ability to look at something and comprehend, and like what she sees and what she transmits to her hand is able to come across a lot easier. So like you can learn it and get really good. It's just that, some people aren't always born with the ability to do that, and I am not. So I work really hard trying to practice and get better and better. I like to think that where my talent lies is in my creativity. So I'm just saying this because sometimes you're going to have to draw that hand over and over and over again until all of a sudden you're like, okay, I get it. I get hands now. I want you to tell me if it's appealing enough to be highly rated. People sometimes like mangas, not always because of the story, but for the art. Like how I watch Bleach's full bring arc for art. Yeah, it's a shame that the artist to Bleach is having so much trouble these days. Like he really worked himself into the ground and now he has a hard time drawing and his current artwork is really not up to par with his older artwork. But he really burnt himself out, then he got super super sick because of it. So that's really sad. I have to hope that doesn't happen to me. Because he had been working on Bleach for 15 years by the time he fell apart. And I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, that's like exactly how many years I need to spend working on my comic. Like right now I'm pushing really hard, but I know it's not going to last. Like at one point I'm going to start slowing down a little bit, but I'm not going to slow down on my quality. It's just I got to start working out, taking care of myself. Like I'm already eating a lot healthier than I used to, which is off to a good start. But yeah, I'll let you know with your artwork and stuff like that. But usually, like I said, it's things like if like because the thing is that let's take what's a really great example of a really an artist that isn't necessarily the best, but that has a unique style. Frank Miller. So Frank Miller has a really unique art style. He's not the best artist in the world, but dang, can he tell a story? Like he is so good at telling stories. Like the kind of thing where it's like his panels are just really well done. He knows where to put the darker colors and where to put the lighter ones. Like he's just yeah, Frank Miller is awesome. And again, like he's not necessarily the greatest artist in the world. Like it's just that he's just really good at telling his story the way he wants to, and so it comes across looking really nice. And that's like little tricks and stuff like that too with telling your stories where some people will follow stories for the artwork, but in truth I find a lot of people follow it for the most part for the story. Like you can sell a story to somebody way easier than you can sell the artwork, because somebody can be in like Bleach is a rough example, because in Bleach's artwork at the beginning was pretty appealing, like it was nice, but his story was so unique at the beginning. Like it wasn't completely a shonen just yet. It was like introducing all of his new characters and how he wanted everything to be told. Like I know it was published in Shonen Jump, so in a way it was a shonen from the beginning. But I'm just saying that like even though it's kind of like My Hero Academia. Like where you first start watching it, it doesn't come across like your standard shonen. Like it's just more unique. So Bleach was really like that, and his art might have been nice, but his story was really good. And I can tell you that 9 times out of 10, someone's going to read your story and love what you do for your story more than for your artwork. Like you'll always have people drawing like really beautiful artwork, but having somebody telling a good story is so hard to find. It's so rare. And like to have both of them, obviously that's the best, but that's the hardest thing to achieve. Because drawing a comic is tough. Like there's a lot of really good artists out there that are like, yeah, I could draw a comic. Are you kidding? I'm a great artist. Then they'll start drawing a comic, and maybe they'll even get like 200 or 300 pages into their comic, and the artwork is just fantastic. But the story just goes nowhere. They don't have any structure. They don't know how it's going to end. Their storytelling could be terrible. So while you're reading these panels, you're like, okay, where am I supposed to read right now? Like what? I mean, I get that the bubble is here and here and here, but the panel layout is all weird, so I'm going to read this first, and then you read it first, and you're like, oh, I was supposed to read this first. And, you think to yourself, it doesn't matter, I'll just keep reading. But at one point, when you get a lot of pages that are like that, it starts to become frustrating. So, like, story structure, so important, and again, like, it's the kind of thing where you can be an incredible artist, and it's something that you just won't have an easy time doing. Like not everybody can do it. It takes a lot of discipline and a lot of learning. Like there's a huge learning curve to it. Most people say that it's after your 100th page. If you manage to draw 100 pages, then you start to get the hang of how everything works. Yes, Foreign for World said that's what mangaka does. They destroy their body. I don't get it, but they do it. I mean, why not take care of yourself so you can continue drawing? I think it's just the stress of it all, you know, like especially if it's something that builds up, you know, like if you got a comic, let's say like the guy for Bleach, where it becomes popular almost overnight, and you knew he didn't want his story to just be a shonen because he like hated Shonen Jump, and he really didn't want things to go in that direction, but they did, and so at that point you get all these deadlines and you're getting paid good amounts of money, and you want to keep getting paid this money, not to mention in Japan where they're like, hey, you need to be the best. Stop goofing around and be the best. So like, I don't know. I think that it's extra hard over there for this sort of stuff. And a lot of you'll see it with like YouTubers and stuff like that here. You know, where like a YouTuber will work really, really hard and then they'll just burn themselves out. Oh, actually, I'm going to go in with a different layer here. Let's put a little darkness under her, a little shading there under her lip. Alright, I think it's about time we start adding some bubbles, but she's looking pretty cute so far. Maybe I'll mess with some of the line art too. Like, let's grab white and let's fill in this bottle, like this glass. Like, let's just go in with the glass. I'm gonna make it white. And I'm actually gonna add some white to the foam too, why not? There we go, this is making things a lot poofier, I find. That's nice. As for her skin, I want to go with like a brown, maybe like a, that doesn't feel dark enough. Let's go like here. Taking colors from my alcoholic beverage photo. There we go, that's cute. There we go. This whole drawing feels a lot softer now that I did that, huh? Let's make just her eyes a little darker. This way they pop a little more. There we go. That's cute. That's good. Alright, now to add some little bubbles. Save. They get lots of external pressure at some point. I think it boils down to, do you want a break or to keep your job? I agree with that, Therazan. I think it's exactly like that, especially when like you get that hit of popularity in Japan specifically with Shonen Jump and other people pushing it like crazy. So I definitely agree with this statement. Hey there, hope everything is good for y'all. You know it. Is it good for you? Woo! St. Patty's Day. Hey, it's St. Patrick's Day special today. Oh, if only I had a little rainbow that I could keep putting over my head to be like, yeah, St. Patrick's Day with a little pot of gold. Alright, let's try and get in on these bubbles. Alright, I have something that says glow here. I use that for her eyes. Alright, let's... A lot of layers when dealing with color. So what I'm going to do now is start working on bubbles. Here's how I'm going to go and do that. Put some shape dynamics to this. And we're going to put pen pressure for the size. And let's put some scattering. Basically right now I'm building my own brush at the moment. Let's check it out. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Building your own brushes, 101 for Photoshop. It's so important to build your own brushes. I do it all the time. I love building brushes in Photoshop. I feel like it needs more spacing. Alright, so I'm on another layer for sure, because I don't want to like mess up my overall illustration. See, now I'm adding all sorts of cute little bubbles. Bubble, bubble, bubble. Can't you see? Sometimes your bubbles hypnotize me. And then I'm going to actually erase some because it's too much of like the same thing. It's just, I like to add, subtract, add, subtract. It's just, that's how I work. See, now I'm going to use this bigger eraser to erase some of these like lower bubbles like this. There we go. And there we go. That gives off that bubble vibe. But I want some smaller ones. And maybe, yeah, let's just go with some smaller ones. I'm going to make another layer for this because I feel like these bubbles aren't going to turn out the way I want them to. Man, I've scattered this to high heaven. What is going on here? How come it's not separating it like I want it to? Like, look at that. That really doesn't feel like it's scattering. Oh well. I'll just erase a bit and that'll give me what I want anyway. Yeah, look at that. That is bubbly right there. Now let's add some of those bubbles throughout her body. It almost feels like freckles. Little freckles on her body. But it's Bubbles. Because she's bubbly. That'll be her name. Bubbles. That's the name of this monster girl. Hey! Sorry, I'm like slow on reading my comments today. Probably because it's St. Patrick's Day. I'm already convinced this slime girl is the gold at the end of the rainbow. Good one, Therazan. Zookeep says I'm sure she is. My favorite alcohol is eggnog. Eggnog. Ooh, I will not agree with you on this one. But I completely understand where you're coming from. I don't like eggnog very much, but the people that love eggnog freaking love eggnog. Like my brother loves the hell out of eggnog. Like he drinks so much of that, and my dad too. He'll just be like, the second it's eggnog season, he just shows up. I don't know if you've seen some of those internet videos going around with people collecting toilet paper, but imagine that, just eggnog. I mean, I feel like if I were to go on the internet and make a meme where it's just like, I would make a remark about that and then show tons of, instead, like, I would edit out the toilet paper and just edit in the eggnog, I'm sure that would go viral. There we go, put a couple of freckles on her here. Well, freckles. It's bubbles. I'm going to erase some too, because I'm really going overboard, but like I said, I like to add a lot, and then I like to subtract afterwards. Let's make this bigger too for here. My idea for a name is Hoppy, since beer is mostly made with hops. That's true, and I feel like Hoppy does sound cuter than Yeasty. I don't think you want to name any OC girl Yeasty. Oh, Yeasty. No. No, that's just awful. I don't know, I think Bubbles is cute. Bubbles McHoppy.
Oh, that's nice. Because it has to have a mix.
It need. My wife's saying that's perfect because it needs to have a Mick in there. That's true. Okay, let's just erase a little bit of this. It's too intense. Now to erase some of these bubbles a little. Oh boy, my music's finally looped back on itself. That's when you know it's been a long stream. But I think we're pretty much done. Like, this is looking good. Alright, the bubbles look good. Oh, that's the glow for her eye. That's nice. That's fine. Let me just get close to her face. I put a lot of little freckles on her face, so I'm not super like, usually I like to put certain things popping a bit more than others, but I think this is okay. Alright, I think this looks cute, y'all. This worked out nicely. Bubbles. Mick Hoppy. I'm guilty as charged on this eggnog topic. Yeah, eggnog. Also, with vodka being made with potatoes, it sounds more Irish, even though it's Russian. Yeah. Lines. Here we go. Actually, let's grab a regular brush again. I want to kind of mess with my lines for my regular brush here. Alright, let me just grab this. It's because this is glass, so I don't necessarily want black on the glass part. There we go, that looks good. And I can grab the darker part of the gold, go over some of this. I personally like having black line art. Like when I was younger, I tried getting rid of it, you know, like so many artists do nowadays. But I like it. I like the darker line art. It's just drawing something like this is fun. So I do it once in a while. Plus, in retrospect, my comic book has like almost no black line art in it at all. All the lines are dark purple. But I do that on purpose, so it works with my sweet, colorful palette. Alright, I'm just going to add a little bit of highlight to her nose. Where is it? What is this? What am I messing around with? Oh, it's the glass. Alright, well. I'm not going to do the highlight there. Oh yeah, I'll do it there for sure. There we go, that's cute. Alright, now to sign this bad boy. I think we're done. Well, bad boy. Bad girl. Nah, she's not a bad girl. I picture her being super nice. And super friendly. You know, like, overly friendly. The kind of friendly when somebody's really, like, under the influence of a alcoholic beverage.
Apple juice.
Apple juice. When someone's drank way too much apple juice and they're just super friendly, and at one point you're like, hey, this person's super fun, but they're slurring all their words, and it's just like, okay. They're still super fun and super nice, but if you're not like drinking apple juice with them, then you're really not enjoying it as much. But if you are drinking apple juice, then you're gonna have the greatest time ever and remember her being the funnest person you've met in your life. There, that's super cute. Sketches! Oh, actually, I don't like this right here. I'm just not a fan of that. I'm going to clean that up right now. Let's start off by erasing some of this. And I'll just erase that there. Let's erase some of this. You know, just make everything feel more like bubbly. There we go. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. So we're gonna call her Bubbles McHoppy. And she is our beer monster girl. I'll take a giant mug, please. You know what? If this was from the Harry Potter world, people would actually be drinking this. Until you drink the whole thing and she's dead. That's Harry Potter. That's just how Harry Potter works. It's messed up. I just finished watching the whole Harry Potter universe, and when you see frogs jumping around, or when they create little birds, and you're like, oh yes, they're creating life, and they just blow it up, then it's like, yep, Harry Potter, wizards, no thought for life whatsoever. Let's give this thing sentience, and then immediately take it away. It's all about being a god. And that's Harry Potter in a nutshell. Awful. Just awful. And they're constantly killing things. So, like innocent animals and creatures where they're like, gotta murder this, gotta create it, and then it's okay to murder it after because we created it. I mean, like, if you want me to go to the darkest I can go with this, that would be like having a kid and then being like, well, I'm allowed to kill my kid because I had that kid. I mean, Harry Potter's pretty awful. I'm just saying. Like, I enjoyed rewatching the movies. I thought it was pretty fun, but that really struck a chord with me where I'm just like, they just constantly kept doing that. And not just once in a while. Like, they were doing it a lot. So I was really just like, oh, I had a hard time watching some of that. Oh, no. Let's make this white. Just go over this a little. There we go. Don't start me on Harry Potter. Yeah, it sure is a funny franchise. Alright, so I think we're all done here. Let me just remove this template. Look at my reference picture. Usually I have like reference pictures galore, which like different type of chicks or dudes or creatures or things like that, and this time I just have like lined up alcoholic beverages. I think that's funny. I mean, lined up alcoholic apple juice. Alright, so I think we're coming to the end here. I just finished this, and she looks good. Let me just put it up here like this so that you all can see her a little bit better. I keep forgetting that it really cuts down a lot on the bottom. There we go. Yeah. Let's see here. Alright. Thus ends my live streaming session for today. Yet the real challenge begins, listening to my 2-minute long advertisement on me, myself, and I. All links mentioned will be in the description below this video. Now hold on a sec, I need a sip of this sweet, sweet apple juice. Alright. So at a young age I realized that sleep was for suckers, and I could get way more done by just avoiding it altogether. I mean, seriously, like, sleep, that's like, how many hours of your life? That's like almost half your life, or half your life wasted just sleeping. Ugh, nuts to that. I'd way rather work. So, of course, now that I'm older, my whole body's like, you son of a bitch. You're gonna pay for this. Every minute of sleep you didn't take in the past, you gotta take it now. Otherwise, you're gonna have tons more problems in the future, and you can't fix these problems, Eric. So, now I'd like to sleep more often. The only problem is where does one find the time to sleep? I work on my own comic book. See, I do all the writing, I do all the publishing, I do all the illustrations. I make it all in color because writing and publishing's not enough. I've got to make it in color too. And so I do everything on this comic. I can't stress enough how much I put my whole life into this thing, and I've got so much more of my life to put into it. So if you would like to help support me and more of my comic, and also more of these live streams, which I do for free, you can just walk on over to my Patreon page. It's $3 a month. You know, like, that's like the same price as when Gatorades are on special and you get 2 Gatorades. Hey, buy 2 Gatorades, $3. That's pretty much it. So if instead of getting that Gatorade that one time, you think, you know what, I'm gonna hook Eric up with that $3 so he can help print more of his comic books and achieve his sweet dream. And also, I love watching his free live streaming sketches, so I feel like I want to give back. Then I would really, really appreciate that. And for all of you that do follow me, well, thank you so much. You're all super amazing, and all of everything that I'm doing right now, a lot of it is thanks to you. I also like to point out that I have something that I'm currently working on. I'm taking a bunch of my old sketches that I've done over the past few years, and I'm going to make like an art book out of it. So I think that would be pretty awesome. And so I'll be selling that at conventions. I'm thinking that people that follow me on Patreon, I might have a thing where if I can see that they've been following me for the full year, every time I come out with a new art book, I'm going to ship you one for free because, well, for free. You've been supporting me for a whole year, so I'll ship everybody that's been following me for that full year of all my sketches, and they'll get like one of these art books full of the sketches in it, which I think would be awesome. I think that'd be really cool. And like, let's just say that 2019 sketches are pretty hardcore. Like, I gotta say that almost everything I've done this year, like, has been pretty nice, so it's pretty sweet. In any case, you can also follow me on my DeviantArt page, on my Facebook page, and if ever you have questions or anything like that, I'm always easier to get a hold of on my Facebook page too. Other than that, if ever you do any illustration, fan art, pinups, or anything like that of characters from my comic book, then be sure to let me know. Post it on whatever social media you have going, and then I will share it across all the land on all of my social media pages. So I'll promote it to the best of my ability. And that's pretty much it for today. So I guess I'll be seeing you. Have a super awesome St. Paddy's Day. And everyone take care with like the whole, stuff, like the cold that people seem to be catching these days. Like stay safe. Eat plenty of healthy things. And I will see you all next Tuesday, where we'll get back to where we left off and start taking like regular on-spot commissions like we usually do. That was so great. Thank you. You're welcome, Therazan. Nice work. Thanks, Zeno. So I'll be seeing you. Take care, everybody.